If you've been ghosted after a job interview or you haven't heard back on a job application, do not just sit around and wait or write the job off. You have options as to how you can get in touch with the people making the hiring decisions to check in, see your status, and continue building the relationship to help you improve your chances of getting a job. I'm going to explain exactly what to say in these situations right now so you know what to do if you ever get ghosted. And by the way, this has happened to me. This has happened to a lot of people, I'm absolutely sure. So if you want to make sure that your other colleagues in this community are not feeling alone, please let us know in the comments, have you ever been ghosted after a job application or a job interview? And if you say no, please tell us what your secret is. Now I'm going to provide you with 2 scripts here. The first one is to send to the company if you've had a job interview and they have not got back to you. The second one is going to be what to say if you applied to a job and you're just not hearing anything at all. So not hearing back after a job interview is pretty rare. Most companies, if they took the time to get to know you and interview you, will at least take the time to let you know that they are going another direction if they decide to hire someone else. Now, if there's a significant delay, this usually means that they did not select you, but you are their runner-up choice, which means they're waiting for their number 1 choice to say yes or no because they don't want to say no to you in case their number 1 choice says no and then they want to offer you the job. Other reasons there could be delays might be that someone from HR has quit working at the company and the process has slowed down, or they're really busy. In very, very few circumstances did they interview you and then just forget about you. So reminding them that we exist is not really the point of this email, but this is a great way that I use to just check in, stay on the radar, and mostly give ourselves a little peace of mind. So as you can see here, it says, "It was great to meet you during the interview. I appreciated getting to know you." And then we're going to mention something specific that we talked about in the interview just to show our thoughtfulness. Then we will remind them that we had a timeline that they gave us as to when we'd be hearing back, and that timeline has come and gone. And I will acknowledge that they're often very busy and that there's probably a great candidate pool. And then we will just straight up ask, are we still in consideration? And if not, would they mind giving us some feedback so we can continue to learn and grow? It's a nice, polite email. It's concise, it gets the job done, and it will still maintain a good relationship, even though they did not take the initiative to reach out to you just yet. Now, if you're enjoying this video, my friend, you're finding it valuable, it would mean a lot to me if you took a second to like the video, subscribe to the channel so you don't miss any of my great job search content that I'm putting out here every single week on YouTube. Now, let's talk about what to say if we applied to a job and no one is getting back to us at all. Now, if you are in a situation where you applied to a job online and 2, 3, even 4 weeks have gone by and no one has reached out to you, I'm going to be honest, they probably aren't going to invite you for an interview, and sending an email is most likely not going to change their mind, but it can happen, and this is also a great jumping off point to start building a relationship, even if they're not hiring you for this specific job. So this is an email that I like to use in that situation because it gives us a chance to just build a connection and maybe find some areas that we can grow and improve for future applications in a similar area. As you can see, we'll remind them that we applied to the role, we wanted to tell them we're excited, and then we'll let them know that we haven't been contacted about next steps, but we'll be very understanding and explaining why we know that this is okay. It's a complicated process. It's a competitive applicant pool, and we understand if they've gone another direction. However, if they're willing, we would love to get a little bit of feedback as to how we could improve for future applications. Now, this is definitely a long shot, but it also builds a good foundation if the person takes the time to read and respond to this message. And more importantly, it gives you some concrete stuff that you can put on your professional to-do list to try to set yourself up for that long-term career growth. Now, this situation is very common. On most job applications, you're not going to get a message that says no thank you. The reason being is that when we send out those types of messages on the hiring side, we're often met with a lot of angry emails in response that we don't have the time or energy to deal with, and more importantly, it just sucks to get that kind of a message back, so companies just don't do it. Now this doesn't mean we shouldn't give this a try. We should certainly reach out, especially if we're feeling some kind of anxiety that we haven't heard anything, but at the same time, do not be surprised surprised if you don't get a response to this email either, because companies once in a while will even have a policy saying they can't reply to messages like this. All that being said, it's definitely still worth giving it a try. You have nothing to lose. Now, if you've ever been ghosted in the job search process, which you have, so have I, it's happened to all of us, I know it sucks, but just know that this is part of our entire professional journey. Now, one thing I can tell you is that if you do want to get ghosted less often, I would highly recommend checking out my other videos on my channel. I cover resume writing, cover letters, building a great LinkedIn profile to attract recruiters, and of course, nailing every job interview you have.